YouTube. It has been a while, and I have to say that I missed making some videos. So what have I been up to? A lot of everything. That's what I'll call it. I'll say a lot of everything. Usually come, I don't know, maybe late October through January, my other hobbies, leisures, adventures, all that other good stuff sort of collides with my riding on the bike, especially my long rides on the weekends or whatever, because I like to go travel and I like to experience life with my life partner. We have a lot of fun, and a lot of fun outside of being on the motorcycle, which is good, which is absolutely good. So now that it's football season, well, not that it just started, we're probably halfway through, of course, but with it being football season, and I am a free agent fan. That's my term, free agent fan, which basically means I don't have a favorite team. I like watching all of the games. When they come on TV, I channel surf, because I just don't have a dedicated team. But what I do enjoy is the game, and I love going to the games. And so what we do is we just kind of decide what game we want to go to and when, and then we go. So we'll travel and we go to the football games and pretty much a lot of the local games. I like to stay within driving distance because, of course, we have to get back to the grind the following week. But still, it's good to get out and experience the games and be with the crowd. And we always sit pretty much first row, right there on the field, and it's a totally different experience there. You hear the players, you kind of see some things that you don't normally get to see if you're up there in the nosebleed seats. And I'm not knocking it if that's where you are, don't get me wrong, but if you ever get a chance to sit down there on the field, it's definitely a different experience of the game. And so yeah, so that's what we've kind of been up to. Oh, in addition to that, it's also deer season, another one of my favorite times of the year. I love to deer hunt, and I've been trying to squeeze some hunting in. I haven't hunted as much as I would like because I've been sort of out and about with travel and everything like that. But the few times that I've been out, I had a really good time. I haven't killed a deer yet this year, but I've enjoyed being out there. And this is the first year that I was able to get my wife out there with me. Now, I will say I have enjoyed being out there a whole lot better with her out there with me. It's a new experience for her. It's something that she hasn't done. Does she want to shoot a deer? No, she doesn't want to shoot a deer. She just enjoys being out there with me. She'll put on her audio books or podcast or read a book or whatever while I'm out there actually doing the hunting. But I really enjoy having her companionship out there with me. We've had a fun time doing that. And so what I've experienced is this. I usually will go out and, I don't know, maybe hunt till 11 o'clock or whatever if I'm doing a morning hunt. And then I will come back home. And that way, if we want to do something for the rest of the Saturday or whatever, we have the time to do that. But with having her with me, we usually stay out there all day. And it's not because of me. A lot of it is that she wants to stay out. She's like, oh, it's nice, it's peaceful out here, it's not bad, let's just hang out. I have no objections. So I feel very, very, very fortunate, and I really appreciate her coming with me. It's been fun. Yeah, I just need to kill a deer. That would be even better. Well, not better, but it would enhance that experience. So I'm big on experiences, and having great experiences in life that you can make, that you can have for yourself. And yeah, it's just that enhancement. So it's good. It's good. What else is going on? Oh, college football playoffs, the announcement this week. I got some thoughts on that. I think I can speak on it before I get to work. I think we've got Alabama in, we've got Georgia out, and we have Florida State out. Now, growing up, I was a huge Florida State fan. This was the Bobby Bowden days of the early 90s. And they were a hell of a team pretty much every year. So needless to say, I'm somewhat biased when it comes to Florida State. I still like them. Even though I like a lot of college football, I follow it a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I don't have a favorite football team, because I watch so much college. And I watch these players from the time that they're in college to pros. But that being said, I don't know if I totally agree with what we have going on. Now I'm gonna speak on Florida State first, and then I'll talk about Georgia. With Florida State, I understand that their quarterback is out, and I think they were playing with a third string quarterback against Louisville. But the magnitude that it takes for a team to put it all together, play great football, when you have lost your starting quarterback, they had a couple of other injuries there, and you're playing with, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but you're playing with your third string quarterback, and not win one game, but they won multiple games without their starting quarterback. That's big. That's huge. I understand the money thing. I am a money guy. I totally understand it when it comes to TV revenue, whatnot, and everybody's going to say, well, we don't want Florida State in there because they're not one of the top 4 teams. Well, they're undefeated. Yeah, have they won some games that they should have lost that were close? Yes, they did. A close game against Clemson, a couple of other close games. But at the end of the day, when you find that W, that's what you're measuring on. You're winning games. So I get it, but I also don't get it. Now, Georgia. They lost to Alabama. Get it. Their only loss of a pretty tough schedule that they had, and it knocked them all the way out of the college football playoffs, out of the top 4. Shaking my head on that one. I don't get it. Now, I like Alabama. I like Georgia. I also like Michigan, and I like Texas. I think these are all good ball teams, don't get me wrong. But there is no way you can tell me that Georgia is not a top 4 team because of one loss. Now, granted, Bama was number 9 or 8 or whatever it was when they played Georgia, and I know that came into into play and into factor with the rankings and all that good stuff. But still, we're talking sort of it's a SEC. It was a close game. And like I said, I like Alabama, but let's face it, there was a couple of questionable calls in that football game. In that football game, there were absolutely a couple of questionable calls. So, do I think they should have been out? No. 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 So, how would I have stacked it up? Who would have my top 4 been? I'm going right off the cuff, and I hadn't gave this much thought, but I'm thinking about it now, and I'm going to give it to you. So, my top 4, I think I would have Michigan number 1. Do I think they're beatable? I would have Michigan number 1. Number 2, I probably would have put at number 2 Washington. I think Washington is right where they should be. Very good team. I watched them play, and beating Oregon twice is nothing to kind of blink at there. I'm sorry, did I say Georgia twice? Beating Oregon twice. So Washington. Number 3, Georgia. I can see you dropping from 1 to 3 with that loss. Number 4, Florida State. You've got to keep them in that top 4. Regardless of the quarterback situation, just my thoughts on it, I would have kept them number 4. So I would say Michigan, Washington, Georgia, FSU. Number 5, I probably would say Bama, right there. Number 6, Texas. I don't know, man. I'm not 100% sold on Texas. I like what Sark's doing there, but I don't know. There's some games to where they've looked pretty good, some games where they really didn't. But that's my 6. But again, I don't have a vote. I'm a fan. I watch it. I don't like Florida State being out. I don't like Georgia being out. College football needs to do something a little different. We've got to expand this playoff. And I think this year, what the committee did was probably a blessing in disguise, because they are going to have to take a close look at what's going on, how they're voting, and at this playoff, because the top 4 is not enough. It needs to be expanded to some type of tournament bigger than what it is, because there are a lot of good teams that are one-loss teams that could get in there and possibly cause a shakeup. Possibly cause a shakeup. Good example, Ohio State. Yeah, they lost to Michigan, and that's okay. That's okay. College football, you shouldn't have to feel like you have to go undefeated to be in the big game or to be considered for the big game. In the history of the NFL, no team has gone undefeated within the last and won the Super Bowl. Let's say win it all. Since when? That 72 Dolphins team? I mean, come on. Come on. But that's my soapbox for right now. But anyway, I hope you all have a great week. I'm close to work. I'm going to cut my camera off, because where I go, there is security and all of that good stuff, and I need to be legit. So I'm going to cut off my camera, and until next time, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. Talk to you all soon. I am back. I didn't plan on getting back on here today on my way home, but I had a good discussion today in the office about the transfer portal and decided to share some of my thoughts on the tube. So, first off, I think the transfer portal is a good thing for these guys playing college football that feel like they're not where they need to be, whether it's program-wise or developmentally, and they want the opportunity to prove themselves before they move on to the draft or whatever, or to improve their draft status. But here was the dilemma that we were discussing today, because a lot of big names, surprisingly to me anyway, have entered the portal here recently. Oregon State's quarterback, Ohio State, there's a couple of others who I can't recall right now, who were productive for their teams, and they're in the portal. And I guess my mindset behind it is this. Take, for example, the Ohio State quarterback who threw for like 3,000 yards this year, and he really didn't have a terrible season for a good team, a good system, a well-known coach, and he entered the portal. And so I kind of consider, if you're entering the portal, you're starting over. You're learning a new system and new coaches and everything else. And you have to hope that's going to fit your style of play. And we've seen it work for players, which is great. But I think the transition as an offensive player, especially quarterback, and a defensive player is a little different. If I play defense, yeah, I got to learn a new scheme. But for the most part, I'm playing defense, especially if I'm a lineman. I can, I think it's an easy adjustment. But leaving a productive system that I was in to go somewhere else in the portal, I don't know. I'm no expert. I only watch football, and I only played in high school. But I am relatively smart. And, I don't know. It's kind of like, I'll put it like this. If I'm at a job at a company, let's say I work for Apple, and I'm really kicking ass at Apple, and Microsoft comes recruiting me. Now, money talks. So if Microsoft is saying, hey, we're going to offer you X dollar amount to leave Apple and come work for us, absolutely. Monetary gain. Absolutely. However, if I'm at Apple and I'm kicking ass, I don't see myself just leaving there without some kind of huge beneficial gain, because if I'm in charge, per se, quarterback, know the system, know my players, whatever, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to leave. I don't know how the pasture can get any greener by going. I can make it greener by staying and improving myself and improving my play. I think that does more than transferring as a productive player. But I don't know. That's just me. I could be totally missing something. If I am and you're watching, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. But the person I was kind of talking to about this today, we both agreed we didn't understand why those players were transferring. Now I can see, I'm gonna use what do you call it, Colorado for example. those guys who left Jackson State to go to Colorado, and I'm going to say primarily Travis Hunter, 5-star recruit, went to a small school, had the opportunity to transfer to a bigger school. He's got the endorsement. That kid's already a millionaire. He's got endorsements. He's got his draft stock already. He's going to do fine. Prime example of using the transfer portal. Don't you come over here. Using the transfer portal to your advantage. Now, should he leave Colorado? Not saying that he is, but productive player. Yeah, the team didn't do as well, but you know, he's there. He's known. We know what he's going to bring to the table, sort of at the next level, I guess. He's going to be drafted probably in the 1st and 2nd round. Again, he's going to be good to go. I wouldn't leave. Even if Alabama said, hey, you want to come on over, I probably wouldn't leave. That's just me. Those kids are in their 20s. I'm in my mid-40s. I can't necessarily, they're athletes. I'm not. Can't relate to necessarily what they're thinking or who's advising them. But just a little fun thing we were talking about today in the office. Figured on my ride home, I'll run my mouth a little bit and share with you all. Oh, by the way, I got a new GoPro. I was shooting on my Hero 9 for the longest, and kind of cheap. And I said, well, you know what? I need to upgrade. We'll see what this. I don't even know what the video quality is like on it. Everything that I read says that this Hero 12 is good. So I bought it. This is my first time using it. So I said I'll throw it on my helmet. Do some vlogging with it. I'll edit the video sometime this week and post it and see what it looks like. I hope it looks good. I think it's gonna be okay. So I got the new shiny now in regards to my camera. I still have my 360 camera. I didn't bring it today. I just figured I'll be vlogging, which I'll just be using my GoPro only and not really taking much videos. Just riding to work and riding home. Not doing anything too extensive or special or anything like that. But anyway, let me know y'all's thoughts on what I talk about today. I think I mentioned deer hunting and football games and college football playoffs, and wrapping up talking about the transfer portal. But as I said earlier, I hope you all have a great week and talk to you soon. Later.